Okay, we have been talking there, but the stream went wrong at the start. I think we've been sabotaged by United because we're going to go in on United tonight, completely go in on United tonight after what we just witnessed. I'm just going to say it now. Please do give the video a like. Sorry for the delay, everybody. It's been an absolute nightmare of a night, and Manchester United have again let the fan base down, I feel. Ten Hag has let the fan base down. I would sack him now, not even let him manage the game against Aston Villa this weekend. Jay is here with me right now. We've rehearsed this. We've gone through it 3 times, but the way things are going tonight, I just hope that everyone can actually see us right now and listen to what Jay is about to say in describing what he's just witnessed. Away you go, Jay.
Adam, I'm just back from Magaluf. Ten Hag is so inept, he couldn't manage a piss up Magaluf. That's how inept this individual is. This man tonight, he's the personification of the consistency of inconsistency. I'm here with my infamous notebook, and the narrative tonight has changed so many fucking times, my friend. I don't know where to start. So I'm just going to pull out one little banger that one of the commenters came out with during the game. And he said, since Ten Hag took over, no Premiership team has conceded 3 goals more times than Ten Hag's teams. So since August 2022, we conceded 3 goals, a grand total, Adam, of 24 fucking times. That's our manager. Boom.
I'm going to add to that. Tonight's result left United with 1 win in 10 in Europe under Ten Hag, the last 10 games. Right now, Jay, I'm just going to get it up, actually, on my screen as to where Manchester United are actually sat in this Europa League table. We are currently 21st in the Europa League table, Jay, without a win. 25th is out of this competition completely. I was talking about how United made the top 8 at the start of the show, but this is beyond. Like, how do you go, Jay? Let's get into the game itself. How do you go from being sluggish at the start, which we were, and we were lucky, I thought, to actually be in the game still at this point? How do you go from being 2-0 up, credit to United, we got the goals, yeah, a bit fortuitous with the way that the keeper actually let them in at his near post, but we're 2-0 up, and I said straight away, the game is too all over the place. We need to stop this now. Let's bank up, and let's just take the sting out of this game. The Reds fell off, Jay, and the game management from the players, the management, the coaches. Oh, dear God. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous, Jay. How many times were we getting crosses into that box continuously down our left-hand side? We're going to get into the left-hand side in detail again, but in-game management, Jay, take it away from there, because that, I thought, was just ridiculous tonight and is not acceptable at this level, and it's a continuation. This isn't the first rodeo. This is happening week in, week out.
Adam, okay, so we go from scoring 10 goals in 2 games to conceding 6 goals in 2 games. That's just where we are. So 2-0 up away from home. The dream start, the start that none of us, Adam, in our what, even the most red tinted spectacles fan tonight would not have thought we go away to Porto and leave by 2-0. A 2-up. You and I haven't coached at any high level. It doesn't take you a process to cipher. Hang on a second, 2-0 up. Fuck me. I better shut my midfield down. Instead, our manager leaves the wide gaping chasm in midfield. And then on the left side tonight, Adam, I saw more bombs dropped from the left side than I've seen the bombing of bloody Dresden tonight. You know, those are documentaries we watch as kids, those World War II documentaries, and we see the bombers flying over, dropping bombs. Well, tonight, left-hand side, 3 goals, left-hand side. Surely, logic would dictate, oh my God, maybe I meet what changes here. But what does our manager do? Sits on his hands until it's too late. And Porto, you know, if you're a Porto fan tonight, you're thinking, well, hang on a second. We are up 3-2. You take off our striker who's having a game of his life. We go 4-5-1, and we give possession to United. They come back at us and we throw the points away. So tonight, I think Porto threw the win away more than we got the draw.
Yeah, I think they did, because they had a chance on the break, clean through. And Anna, to his credit, again, the only player coming out of Manchester United's side with any credit tonight. I thought it was unfortunate with their first goal, made a great save, kept us in the game when it was at 3-2. He stopped it being 4-2 and basically saved United a point in this one. I think since we've slagged him off, he's absolutely killed it, I think. Onana is the only man in this whole team to come out with any credit. Like, honestly, I would say, obviously, Maguire coming on off the bench, getting that goal, props to him, give him his credit, but still, I'm struggling right now. Jay, we've got to get into the left-hand side and the issue. There was a point in the game, I picked it out, Jay. The game is in the balance. We're losing 3-2. And Dalot, in between him and where his position was, which was central midfield, in between him and Onana were 5 Porto players. This is our left-back, who is a right-back naturally, playing inverted winger with 5 Porto defenders forwards behind him, in between him and Onana. I could not believe what I was watching. It was just absolute suicide. It was positional and tactical suicide that tonight for me. And Porto just exploited everything that Manchester United have shown in weakness. Their manager was talking before the game, Jay, talking about Manchester United's performance against Spurs. So we know that he's watched the game. We know that Dalot is going to play inverted. And Ten Hag and his stubbornness, his sheer stupid stubbornness, is going to keep on doing it. And then where did the goals come from? All fucking 3 of them, Jay. Down that side. Because Dalot is wandering all over the place under instruction from the manager. Ten Hag is making these players look absolutely pathetic right now. Like they don't know what they're doing. And you know what? The end is here. The end is here. End it now. Get him when he arrives on that plane back home. If I was Dan Ashworth or Omar Barada, I'd be already making the call forward before they land. That's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. 10 games into the season, 3 wins. When are we going to see that this is not going to work with this manager? I mean, Jay, talk to me about the setup. Dalot again there. Now you've seen that. Shout me down if I'm over the top, please. But it's just how I saw it there. I just thought his stubbornness has taken over him.
Okay, so it's either A, Ten Hag is ruthlessly stubborn to a point of fucking insanity, or B, Dalot has absolutely zero position awareness and sense and football IQ. Like tonight, his positioning was so poor. Martinez, from what I saw tonight, had his worst game ever for United shirt.
He's been poor, mate. I pulled him against Spurs.
He's been poor.
Reaction times, shit.
But tonight he got exposed time and time again by Dalot's positioning. And is that coming from the manager being so stubborn, or as a reference, is Dalot did he have a brain fart tonight? But tonight it's on Dalot and it's also on Martinez. I'm going to go in hard on both of them. Like I've made no secret of how much I admire Martinez, his tenacity, his resilience. But tonight there was a moment there, and I have it here, 68 minute. He was a 2v1 against Porto players, and he stumbled, and only for Onana again came out, narrowed the angle and blocked the shot. That would have been the 4th goal. For the second goal for Porto, again Martinez did not pick up the number 9 for Porto. Again, that's on Martinez. So I think I would have taken Martinez off long before that, and Brian Maguire or even Evans. Again, that's on the manager.
It is, mate. It is. Jay, I was doing a watch along for the game, and I was asking people. I didn't know, and I didn't hear anything regarding Marcus Rashford being brought off the pitch. Was anything said? Does anyone actually know if there is anyone in the chat that could pick up on why Rashford was brought off? If we've heard if he was injured or not? I don't want to go in on something that I don't know about. I want to make it fair. Everything else I feel like I've said has been fair regarding Ten Hag and that sheer shower of shit that I've just watched in terms of team setup and man management and game management. But Rashford playing well gets brought off. I didn't get it. I'd not heard anything. Did you hear anything about Rashford? Was he injured, Jay?
The BT commentary, obviously they're going to be very pro Rashford, and they were referencing a possible injury.
Okay.
But nobody thus far though, nobody knows. Like Rashford, and I've come in hard on Rashford so many times, and I'm not his biggest fan and never will be. First half, for me, Adam, and everybody watching, I thought himself and Eriksson were our best players in the first half. I put a tweet that Eriksson was pulling like Tom Brady passes in the first 20 minutes. The only thing with Rashford was, I think it was on the 47th minute, there was 3 Porto defenders backing off him just before half time, and there was an easy pass on to Rasmus, but Rashford just ran across the goal, had his usual shot at narrow angle. Apart from that, I think Rashford, he had a very good first half. So again, we're not going to start going hard saying, why is he off? Because we don't know. I'm live chat as information. Please share it with us right now, because we generally right now do not know why it came off.
No, it would be good to know why Marcus Rashford was brought off the pitch, because it just made no sense at all. It was the best first half that I've seen Marcus Rashford play again, and he got his goal and he was flying. He was direct. Everything was bang on the money, Jay. So again, it made no sense. Whether he brought Garnacho on simply because he wanted to show up and brought on a player in a forward position that was maybe a bit more defensive minded, it didn't make no difference, because again, every single Porto attack came down our left hand side. It's like he doesn't see the same game that everybody else does. He's in a bubble right now, Ten Hag, and it was suicidal. I think that's the word I used. It was tactical suicide, Jay. And now he's set up, and Casemiro and Eriksson have not got the legs. I should be honest, like, we were just overloaded in the middle, and Porto just passed around us. They went down the wing every single time, Jay.
Yeah, I think you play one of Eriksson or Casemiro, not both. And look, Eriksson and Casemiro both have been immense players in their day. Tonight, I thought Eriksson was far superior than Casemiro. But it begs the question then, the stubbornness. Like we saw the Spurs game, second half, Eriksson was thrown to the wolves against Spurs. Second half,
Casemiro was as well.
Starts like, yeah, thrown to the wolves, and then they're both started tonight. But again, goes back to one of your key words tonight: Erik ten Hag's stubbornness. So is a stubbornness tinged with complete and utter delusionment.
Yep. Talking about, I don't know if it's stubborn. I don't know if it's stupidness, whether his head's gone, whether it's just too much for him at the moment. But our captain, Jay, how do you get sent off second time in 2 games in a row, and being on a yellow card? What I can only describe as Bruce Lee'd his way into the 6-yard box. He got more height on that boot than Bruce Lee at the height of his career. And I don't understand it, Jay. It just seems like players' heads are falling off. The decisions, like Martinez diving in, Bruno diving in. I'm lost, Jay. I don't know who is gripping hold of these players, who is taking charge right now. Absolutely beyond my, like, what I'm watching, Jay, right now. But Bruno Fernandes, I just feel like he just looks like a complete lost soul, mate. He really does.
I think the Bruno Fernandes petulance, head of chicken, you said lost soul. That goes back from, I think, the time when Ole was manager, that Bruno pretty much was left go on the pitch and do whatever the hell he wanted. And I almost thought Ten Hag will literally make Bruno be literally a cog on a wheel, because I honestly believe Ten Hag would play to a clearly defined system, and Bruno would have to be a cog on the wheel, playing the system, or he'd bench him. He hasn't done that. So I see no development in Bruno Fernandes since Solskjaer days. We're still seeing the petulance, the head is chicken. And tonight, as you referenced, that Bruce Lee. Now, as soon as you raise your foot that height in the box, the cute as hell Portuguese player, he's going to go down. His gamesmanship. It's smart. It's actually been smart. The referee's going to see it. He's going to go to VAR. And of course, Bruno's walking off the pitch. That's just been smart by the Porto player. And there was no contact. But it's irrelevant. Your foot goes that high. You're showing the referee, I'm on edge here. I'm a fucking idiot. Pardon my French. And Bruno tonight, and again on Sunday, he's an idiot. Plain and simple. He's lost his head.
There was questions about Ten Hag and his his whole management style brought up in the week from Benny McCarthy. I'm sure you've seen the interview and articles that were written on it, Jay. And again tonight it showed, because I just seen a man stood there on the sideline. He just stands there, writing his notepads. There's nothing there. There's no enthusiasm. I'm watching the other manager, Bruno, the other manager, running around the pitch, like literally into every single one of his subs, running and kicking every single. But I'm not saying that is the way that every manager should work, but you only have to look at the quality managers that are out there right now, the ones that are right at the top, and they're all playing the game with their players. They're inspiring the players. It feels like they're playing the game with them, and they're right by their sides. And then I'm seeing Ruud van Nistelrooy taking a yellow card for ERIK ten HAG, and I'm saying, and I said it at the time in the game, I said, thank God someone's actually showing some passion on that sideline, because if I was a player and I look over when the chips are down, when things are going wrong, and I see my manager just sat there with his head down, sulking, what looks like the world's on his shoulders, shaking his head, I just, honestly, Jay, I'm lost with him. I'm just lost in every single way. Every single way. Do you want to know what I'll tell you what I tweeted out. It was pretty much at half time, Jay. This is what I tweeted out. It's beyond a joke. Yet again, the start of a second half caught cold. This is pathetic. Always down our left-hand side, trying to play a right-back in Dello, out of position, inverted. All 3 goals from that side. That's on Ten Hag. Again, Jay, just like Spurs, 2 minutes into the second half, your manager's words ringing in your ears, tactics and game plan in your head, nothing there. United conceded a goal. We should have conceded 2 in the first 2 minutes of that second half. We got away with 1, Jay.
Okay, half time, right? I say, the hope really does kill you. It's in adversity when players display their true inner character. ERIK ten HAG will need the mother of halftime speeches, and I quote, any given Sunday time. We had a discussion after the Spurs game, and I said I wanted a manager that's going to come in, grab his players by the bollocks, and actually motivate them. The kind of manager that you want to go over the top with. To use that old World War I reference. World War I, you had the working class soldiers going over the top, dying in their millions. Meanwhile, the generals are back 20 miles behind the lines, drinking cognac, smoking cigars. ERIK ten HAG, he's that kind of manager. He's just so docile, so impassive. So you're a player. You see your manager, literally hands in pockets, walk around, chin down. His body language alone does not actually exude confidence. Meanwhile, the Porto manager, he literally is kicking every ball at half, a ball for, motioning with his players. Now, look, maybe that's not motivate everybody, but for the most part, if you see your manager actually engaged vis-a-vis, most likely our new caretaker manager taking a card, which manager is going to motivate you in live chat? Do you want a docile manager or a manager that shows some fucking balls? And our manager is 0.
Yeah, exactly that. I'm just looking through some quotes now, trying to find what's been said, trying to get some quotes off ERIK ten HAG. Harry Maguire looks like he's the one who's been doing most of the talking. Some here from Harry Maguire, which says, we spoke amongst ourselves, the manager spoke, a few members of the staff spoke, and the players. It's pretty normal in terms of what happened this week. When you get to 2-0 away from home in a place like this, you need to be more solid. This is from Maguire. There were too many gaps, too many crosses, and they punished us for that. Some quotes in here from ERIK ten HAG. I think he's just had a... the dressing room is still closed, apparently, on Manchester United's dressing room doors. So that's a tweet that's just come out now. Okay. I don't know if anybody's going to be talking to anyone tonight, but Maguire is doing his media duties that he has to. Ten Hag has just spoke with TNT, saying, we started the game very good, but we lost control. We finished the game very good. Very minimal quotes coming out. The middle part, the defending, we have to improve. We have to defend better. Ten Hag about United conceding. Be better on the ball. Keep switching. We had a good plan. Obviously, we have to defend better. Jesus Christ. Christ. We have to rotate. Garnacho did not start. I did not start him, so we need players to be fresh. I think that was on Marcus Rashford. I'm just trying to find some more quotes here so we can get into it, so we can give you the live reaction to it. Ten Hag was suggesting he took Marcus Rashford off as part of his squad rotation.
Okay.
Don't judge us in this moment. Judge us at the end of the season. Oh my God! We are in a process. Just wait. Just wait for what?
What? A dogfight for to be relegated?
Oh
Process.
my God! I can't believe what I'm reading. I can't believe he's got the front to come out and tell United fans this. You cannot say this to United fans when you have the back of one win in Europe in 10 games against absolute shit. Stop kidding the fans, Eric. Oh, Jay, I mean, what he said there, Marcus Rashford isn't injured.
Okay.
He's took him off when he's actually playing all right. I don't get him. I don't get him. He's fucking doing my head in. I've had enough of him, honestly.
Marcus has had many stinkers last season, and he was left on the pitch. And tonight, arguably his best 45 minutes of the season, takes him off for squad rotation. Erik ten Hag is the personification of the utter delusionment. He's not fit to be a manager, let alone manage our club. What an absolute charlatan. Man, I'm done with him. I'm done. Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, that quote alone there, we are in the process. Just wait. You arrogant ass. Honestly, that there. I mean, obviously, it can get taken out of context. I'm only reading the quote. Listening to it, it could be different. I'll try and be fair that way, but I've heard this from Ten Hag before. Ignore the shit and try and think of a positive that might happen. That's the whole outlook of Ten Hag, well-being Manchester United manager. That is him summed up in one sentence right there. Ignore the shit and think of a positive that we might get to. Might. Everything is might. Jake, what do you think about the comments from Pep Guardiola today? People who talk about processes are not going to succeed. It's not a realistic way. You have to win. You have to find a way to win. So he's talking about processes and plans and shooting them down. I feel like right now, like Ten Hag is the only man on this planet that thinks that it's all right to have this type of form and tell people to just wait.
Okay, so this is probably one of the rare times that I will give Pep Guardiola much any credit. So grew up in the Barcelona academy, played for Barcelona, managed arguably the best Barcelona team of all time, is currently managing the best team on the planet. Ironically, I say it. Sport and life are about one thing, Adam. One thing only: winning. Fuck the process. I want to win.
Yeah.
That's it. Very simple.
How long does the process take, Jay? Like, if Ten Hag was talking like this in his first season, I don't think people would have a problem. If Ten Hag's talking like this in his third season, of which he's getting gradually worse with every single year, and he's talking about it being a process, you cannot get gradually and obviously worse and try to tell people it's a process, there's a plan, and you just have to wait. Judges at the end of the season. You ain't seen the end of the season. You ain't seen the end of the season, Eric. Talking like that, honestly, you are completely separating yourself from the fans right now. You really are. It is an absolute sham right now.
If right is right, he's not seeing tomorrow morning.
No.
We had a discussion, last May, and we went on about Ineos, and we had a point where there's a very fine line where Ineos can lose the fan base, and they are skating on a fine line right now. The ice is about to crack on Ineos if this charlatan isn't sacked tomorrow morning. Yeah,
I'm just going through some more. He's done another bit here. It says, Ten Hag, don't judge us at the moment. Judge us at the end of the season. I said the same thing last season. We will fight. I don't want a cup, Eric. I don't want a domestic trophy. I want to be competing in the Premier League and the Champions League. Shut up. We have 2 seasons where we achieved finals. Just wait. We have to develop. Erik ten Hag on Rashford, part of rotating. Oh, good. Everything that's come out of his mouth tonight is even worse than what we watched and how he set his team up on the pitch. The man is talking out of his ass completely. I'm not willing to accept. Last season was the end for me, and I stuck with it. I accepted the decision of Ineos, but right now, Jay, you have a big and valid point now in what you say. Ineos are really testing the mettle of the fan base right now. They're going to be many fans questioning where their standards are. Are you willing to wait and accept? And I will say it again, one more time, in one of the easiest Europa League setups that there have ever been. The amount of teams that are in it, yes, maybe more, but the setup is easier. You have to finish in the top 8 to qualify automatically for the next phase of the competition. We are already 2 points away from that, with no wins, sat in 21st. 21st. That's where we are right now.
Adam, and guess who we have next?
Fenerbahce.
Mr. Mourinho.
Yes.
And Fred.
Literally, right now, I'm looking at the table. Fenerbahce sat in 13th position. Manchester United 21st. I went through it before when we was leading through. The teams in the top 8 right now are Lazio, Lyon, Tottenham, Steaua Bucharest, who we have to play, Anderlecht, Ajax, and Frankfurt and Galatasaray. Honestly, Jay, we have to finish in the top 24, Jay, just to get into the playoff phase. We are 3 positions away from falling out of that now as well. And we've got Fenerbahce next. 15 points apparently is the total you need to qualify automatically. Honestly, I don't know where to go with it. But I'm just going to get through a few. We've got a few super chats in. Gifted membership from Jason Chats Football. Thank you for that, buddy. Super Fat Frank has taken that. Jordan, I did see yours earlier on. Sorry, the person who took it has fallen off the screen. Thank you, Jordan, as well. We have a super chat in. Thank you very much. Super chat in from You Got Roz. Last year, his thing was complaining about injuries. Now he is making noises about young players you need to train up. When the people running the club say they aren't bringing in players under the age of 25, he's got to go. Another super chat in from Jens. Thank you, Jens. Hey, guys. Your loyalty to Erik ten Hag has been touching. Yeah, I know. That's from a Liverpool fan. Modern Samurai's gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, mate. They've gone to Paul Lucas, D Wood, David Meme, Rob, and Michelle Ellis. Welcome to the Members Club. Modern Samurai, thank you. Louise has just renewed her membership. Does he want us to wait until relegation? Question mark. We're closer to the relegation zone and falling out of Europe than we are for qualifying or getting near that top 4, Jay. Talk to me.
Okay, so we've got Villa at the weekend.
Yep.
Who've just smashed Bayern Munich.
Great.
Yeah, that's what the size of it right now. So Villa at the weekend who smashed Bayern Munich. That's got a loss written all over it.
We lose that, Jay. That's 3 wins in all competitions in 11 games. Let's not bring up the form from last season. Do we have to bring up the form from last season, how we ended it, and like where we finished, added to that? I mean, someone actually, I've seen a post, I just need to get it up, but it was like Manchester United's games so far this season. We lost to City in the Community Shield. We beat Fulham, then we lost to Brighton, lost to Liverpool, we won Southampton and Barnsley. The last 4 games, we've drawn to Palace, drawn to Twente, lost to Spurs, drawn to Porto, and we've got Villa next. That alone tonight is a sackable offence for me. Get him out. He's going to get Villa at weekend, I think, because I don't want to... Do you know what? The only reason he will get that Villa game at weekend is because we don't really want to throw another manager or an interim or anyone under the bus to get off to a bad start, Jay. That's the only reason I think we wouldn't bring anyone in right now.
Okay, so I'm going to try another one. Okay, season 1, 2022, shocking start to the season. If you recall, against Brighton, the famous quote from Casemiro, I know how to sort this out. Win the League Cup. And then we stuttered and stammered Champions League football. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Year 1. So he punched above his weight. And he literally told Ronaldo to piss off in season 1. Good lad. Yeah, that was fantastic. Well done. Season 2, knocked out of Champions League before Christmas. Worst performance we've ever had in the Champions League. Finishes 8th. And then the sun shines every dog's ass once in its life. We beat City in the FA Cup. Hence, Ineos said, right, the tide of red emotion is now behind the manager. We'll back him. When it should have been, ERIK, thank you, my son. We'll shake your hand. You won the FA Cup, but toodles, up with you. Mm-hmm. And we would not be sitting here right now having this conversation, my friend. We'd be top of the Europa League, where we should be, and probably top 4, top 5. But Ineos, in my opinion, shit the bed after the FA Cup because they did not want to deal with the negativity of sacking a manager that just won the FA Cup. And that's on Ineos, not on the fans.
And that's what the fans will be looking at right now. Like, obviously, you're going to have your diehards. They'll just back anything and not be bothered about the football. And they'll call themselves fans. That's fine. That's up to you. Everyone is different in football. I don't work that way. I think Manchester United fans deserve better for the amount of money that we plough into this club. It's ridiculous. I'm going to read a quote out here. Like, Henry Winter has been right behind every single decision from United in how they've acted and treated Ten Hag. I'm just going to read this out to you now, Jay. Erik Ten Hag's explanation to TNT for taking off the electric Marcus Rashford at half-time. Rotation with a game on Sunday, bewildering. Rashford was flying, threatening Porto every time he got on the ball. Could have scored or assisted again. Bizarre decision. He is losing the plot, mate. He is losing the plot, and I'm sorry, everything he says right now, he's just, there's nothing to defend him. There's nothing to defend him. If he mentions process, plan, or anything like that again, if you've got a plan and it's a process, you shouldn't have to be using the words bounce back continuously, because that means the plan is going wrong. Does it not? For God's sake, man, from Henry Winter's talk, mate, the journalists at this game will be scratching their... I can tell you exactly right now, every single one of them, and they've told me this to my face as well, and they'll say, they're sat there, Jay, and they're listening to what Ten Hag is saying, and they'll all say, mate, you are fucking deluded. That's what they tell me. That's from the journalist's mouth. The ones that be there today will be scratching their heads and going, here we go again. Here we go again. This is just the same old shit over again with Ten Hag. It's like when Ian Ladyman called him out after the Liverpool game. And remember that famous moment when it was all over the news about Ten Hag having to go back at the journalist. And he came on and was talking on a few other shows afterwards, Ladyman, saying, like, sometimes you sit there and you take the explanations, but sometimes you sit there and you feel like you're being taken for a ride. And those are the words coming out of the journalist's mouth, Jay. He said you feel like you've been taken for a ride, and sometimes you have to stand up for what you do and what you write. And like, be honest with people, because people want to know the truth. People want questions answering that really have an effect on what they're actually watching. They want you, and it's your job to actually ask the relevant questions to bring the right answers out of the manager or whoever you're interviewing after what's happened on the pitch. And he said sometimes you just got to stand up for what you think is right. And that's all he did. The manager is bluffing everybody. And he was right in what he said. And I'm guessing right now, Jay, they're going to be asking the same questions again. And he's going to be doing his buddy Strictly Come Dancing sidestep politician work and not answering these fucking questions.
I think that's a journalist there that displayed a high degree of integrity. Because how many times can a journalist go to a press conference and we try it out the same waffle and BS every time? It's like now we have the bald Dutch version of Ted Lasso, minus the key motivational speeches. So we have in charge. We have a Dutch Ted Lasso in charge.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Thomas Mercado with a super chat. Thank you, mate. I'm not Ten Hag anymore, but I'm not sure anyone can do much with this team. We're not good enough. I disagree, Thomas. I think there are qualities in this team. Like, look, we've been waiting for Marcus Rashford to turn up all season. For 2 years. He turns up and he takes him off. And then he tries to make an excuse about it being rotation for the weekend. Utter nonsense. You do not take Marcus Rashford off when he's playing well. He was criticised for resting him when he was hitting and firing on all cylinders earlier on this season. And he's gone and done it again, but this time at half-time, he never makes a half-time substitution. Everything he's doing right now, Jay, is a man in sheer, honestly desperate. He's trying everything he possibly can. If Ineos cannot see the issue going on right now, they are going to lose this football club very, very quickly. And their reputations of best in class and turning Manchester United around is out of the window before the season's even got going. I'm just going to do a couple more supers on here quickly. Please, my girlfriend is a Liverpool fan, but I'm a Red Devil, says Yanks. Yes. Super chat in from Modern Samurai. Thank you, mate. Erik ten Hag is a fraud. There is no plan, process, or future with this manager. These players are better than this. I agree with that one. But Jay, on Ten Hag, and again, he never makes a substitution of a player when he's playing well. Like, if you're talking rotation, it makes sense that Rasmus Højlund comes up after 70 minutes. But Marcus Rashford, after 45 minutes when he's flying, it's ludicrous.
No, it makes no sense. Obviously, we're not in a dressing room. We're not privy to information. Do you think possibly, I'm throwing it out there, think possibly Rashford might have had a go off him at halftime and he took him off?
I hope so. Because Rashford could have filled his boots.
Very possibly, and that's my take on it.
It still absolutely blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind, that decision. Steph Davies says, not drinking in the week. Still this shite. FUTV, excellent. There's a few people going in on Bruno in the chat as well. I can feel that. The left-back issue is being brought up numerous times in the chat. How do you go into a season, Jay, without an actual left-back again? The question is going to keep on coming up. You cannot rely on Luke Shaw. You cannot rely on Luke Shaw surely anymore. You have to forget about him. Like, he's just not there. You can't even class him as a first-team player at this point, Jay.
No, I think Luke Shaw, at best, he's inconsistent. He never recovered from the horrific leg break he got against PSV all those years ago away in Champions League under Mourinho. Never recovered from that. Weight was always his problem. I firmly believe had Luke Shaw not been an England international, he would have been sold 2 or 3 seasons ago. Secondly, we let Alvaro Fernandez, upcoming left back, go. What, 5 mil, Adam? Adam, was it 5-6 mil?
Yeah, 5 million, mate.
Yeah. And Ten Hag presided over that, allowed it to happen. And that shows the blind spot in Ten Hag. Now, Dello is a good player. I rate him. But he's never going to be a Dennis Irwin who was right-footed but could play left back. He's never going to be that caliber player. And tonight, as I said at the start of the show, he was so bad. The gaps he had with Martinez and the gaping hole and the space that Porto exploited the left time and time again was absolutely shocking.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, you're dead right. I've got people in the chat here. Greg, who's been a member for a couple of months, just renewed. Back Ten Hag all the way. Tipping point for me, I'm afraid. Can't be scrapping for a draw after being 2-0 up like that. Definitely. Thank God I didn't watch the game tonight. I played FC 25 instead. I'm not going to put myself through torture, be punishment anymore on match days. Jay, people actually messaging me and talking to me before the game said they're just not going to watch the game. They don't want to put themselves through this. They've lost. They've checked out. That was the word and the phrase that was used a lot. They have checked out. They don't care anymore.
Adam, look at mate. I get that. I was never so happy last May to see a season come to an end, because I was sick to my tits of watching us play. And as we discussed, when I was with you in Manchester, seeing our players play in the flesh showed their deficiencies even more. Now, obviously, I'm coming over again in a few weeks' time for a Europa League game. Hopefully, by the time I get there, we'll have a new manager in situ, because look, I love doing the shows with you, and we do it for the fans, but we are a hard watch, and people, flying into Manchester week in, week out, paying thousands of pounds to watch the team play. Sooner or later, Adam, the bubble's going to burst. We don't qualify for Champions League football. What players do we attract? Adidas, I think, what we lose, 10, 12 million sponsorship.
Yeah, we
next
lose
year.
10 million, mate. Yeah.
And also, did the share price not drop on Sunday when HAG wasn't sacked? Imagine that.
70 million in value we lost after it was after Ten Hag was backed.
Wow. So they're down 70 million already before they failed to win Europa League. So surely now logic would dictate, if from purely financial point of view, you sack the Dutch Ted Lasso now. Yeah, no, 100% with you. He has to go. He has to go. Like, I'm looking forward to the international break just to see what Ineos do. That's where I'm at right now. The game against Villa at weekend, it can go by the by. I'm just right now. I'm scared, because I know that Manchester United have the players in this team. I'm not having it. These players are not good enough. I'm not having it. I'm just scared with ERIK Ten Hag in charge now that he's just going to keep on talking absolute crap. Absolute crap, honestly. And do you know what? If I was a Porto player and I'm coming out for that second half, I'm going, we've just come back from 2-0 down. We've done really well to get back in the game. I walk out onto that pitch and I see Marcus Rashford being subbed off. And I'm with you, Jay. I don't like Marcus Rashford. I'm still not forgiving him for last season. But he's not kicking up a stink and he's getting his head down and he's playing. I can't really ask for much more in this situation. I would still sell him if we had the opportunity. I'll stand by that. But Marcus Rashford today was tearing them apart. He was causing endless amounts of problems to their right back. And if I'm Porto coming out in that second half and I'm seeing Marcus Rashford not walking back out again, I'm going, let's go for this, boys. We haven't got that threat now on the break. Yes, obviously I'm not taking anything away from Garnacho because he played well when he came on. He did do very, very well. And we didn't really lose too much in that department. But honestly, when you've got your most senior player at Manchester United who has struggled and you backed through high hell last season when everything was against you, and you play him week in, week out for 90 minutes while he's absolutely shite and then he's absolutely tearing the defence apart, you take him off at half-time, baffled. It's not even the word. Like, if you'd have brought him off at 65 minutes, you might have had an argument. But half-time? 25 minutes extra for Marcus Rashford is going to make no difference for what he would have been able to do against Aston Villa at weekend. It's complete and utter bollocks. He's lost his way. He's listened to many other people. He doesn't know what his philosophy is anymore. He doesn't know what his system is. This plan and process that he talks about is just something made up in his head that he goes to sleep at night thinking about, that nobody else knows about. Honestly, I don't know how HAG and Van Nistelrooy are coping with it right now, because their reputations are also on the line, because it looks like they've got no input at all. So you're a full-back, centre-back. What's your biggest fear from a winger? Speed. Yep. And what were Porto players doing? Every time Rashford got the ball, they were backing off, afraid to jump in because he knew he was going to do a step over, beating for speed. They're backing off, hoping against hope that he will get the cross in or play a bad pass. They were scared shitless of Rashford tonight. It's a long time since I've seen a full-back and a centre-back scared of Rashford. And our manager takes him off for squad rotation. Now, as you said, taking nothing away from Garnacho. I thought Garnacho played very well when he came on. He pressed the life out of their fullback. But Rashford should have stayed in the pitch. And I firmly believe, Adam, had Rashford stayed in the pitch, we'd be speaking of a different result tonight.
Yeah,
I really believe that.
When he's on form, he's unplayable. He's
He's
direct, he's quick, he's very rare, and he's not consistent enough, and it's not sustainable. Still, that's where I'm at with him. But when he's on, you make the most of it. I'm just checking through things now. Rasmus Hoyland via Instagram. Luckily, I had 6 weeks to practice my celebration. Yeah, like, honestly, like, read the room, Rasmus. We shouldn't be tweeting or putting posts out about celebrating goals when the team is where it is.
Rasmus. Look. Rasmus clearly isn't the sharpest tool in the box. Didn't Rasmus do interview with a North Forest fan there last year? So clearly Rasmus not sharpest tool in the box.
Ten Hag in his press conference on Rashford's situation at half-time. Garnacho was my best player on Sunday by far. Over the left side, we didn't defend well, and Marcus also plays a part in this. But it was about Garnacho and nothing against Rasha. I'm sorry, Eric, you make no sense at all. No sense at all. That is complete baloney. You don't do that. Please make sure you all hit that subscribe button and hit that like button, everybody, while you're in the room. Thank you so much for being part of the show. We're going to get through some more comments as well in a moment. But yeah, make sure you have subscribed and hit that bell notification. We're just cutting through the crap. We're just giving it to you straight. Pure, raw Manchester United reaction and opinion right now from a very, very difficult night and disappointing night for Manchester United in Europe. Again, I'll say it one more time. It is 1 win in 10 for Manchester United in Europe. And the teams that we've been playing, I'm sorry, it ain't good enough. It really isn't good enough for Manchester United. He's insanely disappointing right now. Jay, positives for the night. Again, I want to try and dig some out there. Like Garnacho came on, he did well. Obviously, Eriksen played well again in the first half. Positive. Marcus, we've touched on as well in there. And Anna again. We touched on it at the start of the show. We have to say, look, he's holding his own at the moment, and I think without him, things could be a little bit worse. And the fact that he's got Player of the Month as well, Jay, I had that horrible feeling of like, what has changed? Remember the days when United had no decent outfield players and David De Gea was constantly winning Player of the Season? I just had that horrible feeling that was coming back again, and we're going down the bleeding goalkeeper road yet again, Jay.
Yeah, so we have been flagging off Onana for a lot of last season for beating his near post. But tonight, he saved us at least on 2 occasions. Mm-hmm. None of the goals tonight were his fault. None were his fault. He saved us. Tonight, without Onana tonight, that game could have been 5-2, 5-3. He saved us tonight.
He did. Anyone else deserve any praise that we haven't mentioned? Have we covered everyone, Jay, do you reckon?
Look, I'll give Harry Maguire big respect for his header. Never fan of Harry Maguire, but his header tonight, that could be the point that might see us scrape through into knockout phase. Who knows?
You just don't know, mate. Goals like that are massive. Only positive, the night has had been this therapy group. Well in, lads, much needed. We always love a good therapy group. We do. How could we spend 600 million and play like this? Raz also says, Anana parried, but our defence didn't protect him. No, again, Martinez, really disappointed in him. Like, gutted at how he's playing right now. De Ligt, I think there's moments he does well, and then he just falls into the same trap everyone else. Mazraoui's dropped off a little bit. It's all going wrong for Manchester United right now, and nobody's getting any better. It's only getting worse. But Jay, we're going to end the show there. I just want to say massive thank you to you for coming on this late hour, buddy.
Look, always a pleasure, but our therapy sessions are probably the only thing that's going to get us through the current debacle that is the Dutch Ted Lasso.
Yeah. Obviously, by the way, it was quite baffling why we actually brought Evans and Maguire on in that. Well, obviously, Maguire got his head on something and it looked all right and saved him a bit, but it made no sense to me why you would make 2 centre-back substitutions at that time. But hey, inadvertently, he saved himself a little bit by getting that goal. Like you said, that could be everything, Jay, that gets us through to that next phase. But thanks for coming on, Jay. Where can the people find you, Jay, on social media before you go?
You can get me on JD Mourinho, JAYD Mourinho.
Is that on X?
That is on X. That's on X. If you want banter, daily banter, and cynical posts, go there. If you don't, fair enough.
If you yeah, you couldn't have said it any better there. But we have had another poll up. Should Erik ten Hag continue as manager? Second poll of the night that's actually got well over 1,000 votes in it right now. So creeping up to 1,300 votes. Should Erik ten Hag continue as manager? 29% of you have said yes. 71% right now said he should be sacked before the Villa game. I'm going to end that poll right there. And all that's left for me to say is massive thank you for you all for helping me through the night. Hopefully we've helped you with this therapy session as well in getting through. We are suffering together and we are suffering big time right now, Reds. Thank you everybody for subscribing as well. We did pass over 60k last night. Make sure you keep subscribing if you haven't already and be part of this journey with us. We do a lot more different content. It's always mixed up and varied, so be part of it. Make sure you hit the subscribe and bell notification button. Give the video a like on the way out, and we should hit that 500 mark before we're done. But that is it. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow bright and early as we dissect more of the aftermath, no doubt.